Yeah, I mean, from the outside, it looked like a duck on top of water, looking pretty good. But I'm sure it was pretty chaotic under the surface. If you said, because it was two entirely separate venues, right? Two different hills.
Yeah, two entirely different venues. Luckily, they're really close. So, talking about all the different roles and the different people who already have a hard time getting their job done and then had to do twice the amount of work. The crew running the water, like Dave Smutok and crew, it was incredible what they set up because they already irrigate the whole venue, which is a feat in itself. But with the two start towers, relatively close together, they were able to have one giant tank at the top and running lines to both of the venues at the same time. And all the riders are told if they bring a big section of hose and a sprayer, then they'll be able to tie in anywhere they want throughout the hill. Those guys are running around like crazy, just making sure that everybody has the water that they need. But that gives you a little insight into the proximity of the women's venue to the men's venue. They were side by side, and there was a connector trail. So for me, doing my job out there, trying to see absolutely everything I can, I'm such a fan, so I love that. But once I realized that there was a goat path that connected the two tops, then I figured out how to go back and forth and see everything. And I don't know, the best part about being out there is in passing, you just come across people that and you get into a conversation, you learn something because there's so much stuff going on all the time, especially with there being two venues and two categories.
Dude, that sounds intense. Like I was just thinking of the broadcast. They're doing it in the desert. It's literally when they pan away from the start and they pan to just like, I don't know, you might as well be on another planet. And then you're saying, but hang on. So there's radio comms, there's satellites, there's broadcast, there's medics, there's personnel. And then you're saying, hey, hang on, just like a simple feat of getting water up this mountain has to be done for them to build these features. Like, dude, what? I mean, props to everyone that's involved, that lifted a spade, that rode down that mountain, that, I don't know, laid a cable that I can sit on my couch at home and then have this chat about that. That is remarkable.
Yeah, it has to be one of the craziest undertakings in terms of a live event. And add on top of that, how hot it was this year. There has been issues in the past with production gear overheating. There has been an issue in the past with gear starting fire in the middle of the broadcast. And so through all those issues over the years, they figured out, ways to mitigate all these problems. Like I see people running around with ice bags, and I know some of them are being used to cool off computers and hard drives and camera equipment. It was hotter this year, like I say, than it ever has been. It hasn't really switched to fall yet over there. It's still mid 90s as a high in the middle of the day, and wake up in the morning, you still don't really need a sweatshirt. And so that just added to the complexity on a bunch of different fronts. The course is, there's no moisture in the dirt this year. Usually you can get down and get to a little bit. And then usually some of the moisture that you put on the dirt will last for a little while. Everything's drying out so fast, but it looked insane. I was going to say yesterday, but 2 yesterdays ago, morning practice, sun comes up over the mountain that the start towers are on, and everybody riding in for last practice laps, they're dust. There's a trail from top to bottom that stayed by the time they get to the bottom of the course, and it's backlit dust. And you're like, who dropped? And you can look up the hill and trace it back and tell whose line it was. It was that one part of it was pretty cool. It would be better if there's a little bit more moisture in the dirt, but it was pretty dramatic looking.